Usually, reading a newspaper is associated with UPSC preparation. For all SSC aspirants, the most common suggestion given by teachers or toppers is pick up books such as Lucent or Reverse Engineer PYQs. But in SSC, trend has changed, and when the trend changes, if we don't update ourselves, we will become outdated. So this video is exclusively for SSC aspirants, especially those who are preparing for CGL, Steno and CHSL. Let's have a discussion with the help of examples of most recent PYQs of SSC, and let's discuss, should I read a newspaper and what are the advantages if I read a newspaper, what is the edge, and can we quantify the number of marks and the edge that we are going to have if we read a newspaper on a daily basis. Hello and welcome to Siddhi. In SSC exams, the trends have changed, and based on the latest trends, now SSC exam preparation is more of a skill development rather than mere rote learning and PYQ based study. This is an era where there are lengthy and multi-statement questions in GS, and in English the paper standard has changed. RCs became very wordy, it is difficult to read them, they take up a lot of time. Vocabulary, black book is not relevant anymore. In such a scenario, there are two skills which are very important for our preparation. One, faster reading ability. Second, quick and accurate comprehending. These are two such skills which will act as a foundational bed to our entire preparation. In fact, all these things that I spoke are written in our notification and it is there every single year. It's just that TCS never followed it, but the new paper vendor is following it in letter and spirit. Let's take a look at our syllabus copy and see this. To test comprehension, 3 or more paragraphs will be given and questions based on those will be asked. But the interesting line is written here. At least one paragraph should be simple one based on a book or a story, and the other 2 paragraphs should be on current affairs based on a report or editorial. The current vendor is following this exactly, and let me prove the same with the help of some example PYQs. This is a CHSL 2025 RC. Let's take a look at it. The idea of progress has always gone hand in hand with the evolution of human beings and the invention of technology. Each technological revolution has unearthed revolutionary changes that have rewritten the human experience in the past. From invention of the press to the invention of the internet, the technological breakthrough shaped the manner in which we live, work and communicate. But with our arrival in an age of artificial intelligence, so when you read this, this is a newspaper style of writing. Let me show you one more question. This example, the mounting reality of climate migration represents a deep and vexing challenge to confront the ethical and planning paradigms of global society. This kind of articles, this kind of writing, the topics are very often picked up and written in newspapers. And if you take a look at CGL papers, till now I have shown you CHSL papers to prove that even CHSL, the language of RCs is complicated and it is verbose, and this is a CGL based RC. Look at this RC. While education and wisdom are often conflated in colloquial discourse, the discerning mind perceives a fundamental divergence between the two. Education is a formal acquisition of knowledge, often measured through degrees, academic accolades and proficiency in structured disciplines. It is delivered through systematic curricula, etc. So this style of writing, this is a proper newspaper style of writing and editorial style of or report style of writing, and they are picking up these kind of questions. When such difficult words are written in these RCs, it becomes very difficult for us to understand and comprehend this in one go. Ideally, when we have 2 to 3 RCs in our paper, we need to complete the entire RC in 2 to 3 minutes. But when the question is like this and we are not used to reading this on a regular basis, it consumes a lot of time, and end of the day, when there are questions such as, for example, let me show you this question. When there are questions such as, what is the main paradox introduced in this RC? That is the main paradox of the question. If you take a look at the next question, the question says, according to the RC, what is a primary ethical dilemma? When questions are like this, if we are not used to reading such things, it becomes very difficult for us to understand it in one go and handle the questions properly. And it is not just with RCs, The same thing is there even in closed test also. This is a closed test of 2025 CHSL. The post-colonial infrastructure often inhibit a schizophrenic condition, a simultaneity of obsolescence and futurity. Flyovers are half finished, railway stations are calcified, mid renovation. So there are so many metaphors, adverbs. These closed tests are completely verbose in nature, and when it is such a verbose RC or when it is such a closed test, then it is going to take a lot of time for us to read it even in the first go. So this is one thing as far as English is concerned. Now let me take you to GS questions and let me show you a couple of GS questions. All these closed tests are from CGL and CHSL papers, and this is a GS question. Let's take a look at this question. The question says, which of the following statements are true about the 6th Indo-Bhutan joint group of customs meeting, whatever it is? And there are certain statements. Bhutan's top trade partner is India, where trade is primarily via maritime ports, etc., etc. The meeting discussed certain things, etc., and India proposed certain measures. Now, these kind of questions, in fact, the next question as well. Which of the following best characterizes India's strategic use of IORA, Indian Ocean Rim Association platform, as demonstrated at the 2024 Goa seminar? Now, questions like this are asking you the analysis and understanding of daily events that are happening around us. To have an understanding, it becomes very important for us to follow these events on a regular basis, because when you pick up a current affairs magazine, at max the magazine will have what happened, where it happened, etc. But it is difficult for us to learn from the magazine, mug it up and remember it. But if we see the same thing on a daily basis on a newspaper, for example, let us take this example question of the IORA thing. This IORA thing that would have been in news for a longer period of time. It doesn't happen in one day. So there are multiple articles on it on day 1, 2, 3, 4. When you take a look at it on a daily basis, you will be familiarized with it. Once you're familiarized with it, you will understand what's happening around, and when there are questions like this that are asked in the exam, it becomes very easy for us to handle those questions. In fact, there is one more question. This is from CHSL, where India's first Vista Dome jungle safari train was launched at. Now there are two ways. One, you read this as a one-liner from a magazine. Second, you saw this in a newspaper. You were awed at the image. The image, the pictorial memory is inscribed in your mind, and then you saw this in a magazine. Then you will be very comfortable in handling such questions. So the reading of a newspaper is mandatory, and there are multiple advantages with respect to reading newspaper. First is our reading ability will improve, and this will lead to increase in speed of reading. This reading speed is necessary both in English papers and GS papers. Trust me, mere increase in reading speed and the increase in efficiency of understanding what is given in the question paper, if you can increase it, definitely you can save more than 5 to 7 minutes, and you will get this edge when compared to your peers. Earlier, when TCS was conducting the exam paper, we need hardly 10 minutes or at max 11 to 12 minutes to complete the English section. But now, if our reading speed is not good, if our comprehending ability is not higher, then we cannot complete that section in 10 to 12 minutes. And daily reading habit, especially the style, the language of certain editorials and certain reports, will help you to learn this speed and this skill. My dear friends, please understand, skills like this are not developed in a day. These things progressively increase, and we develop these things on a regular basis. So activities like this are very, very important. But there are so many newspapers. We have the Hindu, the Indian Express, the Hindustan Times, the Deccan Chronicle, and so many things. And the question is, which newspaper should I read? And when I read a newspaper, should I read an editorial or not? There are 22 pages in a newspaper. How to know which part of the newspaper is relevant and how much time should I invest when I'm reading a newspaper? Because for a typical beginner, it takes like 1.5 to 2 hours to read a complete newspaper. So is it really worthy to spend so much amount of time on reading a newspaper, and what is a return on investment? For all these questions, don't worry. We at Siddhi have got you completely covered on this. This, my dear friends, is Siddhi's Read to Lead Daily Dossier. This is a compilation of articles from various newspapers, and this is curated exclusively for SSC exams. We are picking up articles based on the current affairs classification that I have discussed in our earlier videos. You can use this for other exams such as CDS, FCAT as well, but the primary goal of this is for SSC aspirants. Now, this is the entire daily dossier. We are posting this on our Telegram channel on a daily basis, and the purpose of this is this will help you to improve your reading speed. As a part of this, we are collecting various articles and we are highlighting the most important lines of these articles, and we are ensuring that we can have good combination of regular articles, images, and there are certain reports as well. The reason behind including such reports like this is we are considering the syllabus line, that is reports and editorial style of language. So to help you get a hang of such language, we are including certain reports. The entire dossier, we are including a vocabulary section. This is the vocabulary section, and this vocabulary corner is very important for you. Now, SSC exams, they are not asking you vocabulary from your black book. Vocabulary is context based, and vocabulary is pure language based or language testing style of questions. So in this vocabulary corner, we are doing one thing that is very unique but very important. That is, we are giving you context in the news. This context will help you understand the usage of that particular word. When you locate this word in the article, it will help you to understand the meaning of the word based on that context, and that will help you to sharpen your skills of close test. And in RCs, when they ask you vocabulary based questions, you can handle them very well. So this Read to Lead dossier will help you in multiple fronts. One, improve your reading speed. Second, increase your comprehending ability. Third, you will be familiarized with whatever is happening around you, and you will be familiarized with the current affairs, and in that manner you can have a clear-cut understanding of various monthly magazines, and it will become very easy for you to memorize the things when you know the backstory of whatever is happening around you. So this Read to Lead dossier is designed to save and to give you an edge of 5 to 7 minutes in the exam, along with giving you an edge of 10 to 12 marks in the entire paper. Of those 10 to 12 marks, you will see a direct benefit of 8 marks in your English and around 4 marks in your GS section. So my dear friends, from tomorrow, go to our Telegram channel, check this Read to Lead dossier, and make it a point to spend 20 minutes of time on reading this. If any particular day you are extremely busy, you are not studying, just ensure that you download this, read one article and go to the vocabulary section, look at the vocabulary section. Learn these vocabulary on a daily basis and hone your skills, because drop by drop will make the ocean. You can't fill the ocean in a single day. And remember, SSC exams is now a skill based preparation. So hone up your skills and do better. All the best for SSC exams of 2026. Siddhito Sadhiddham.